Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the No DQ live recap of Monday Night Raw for March 23rd, 2020. We are less than 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 36. This week's Raw, once again, at the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. WWE changed things around this week. This week's Raw, they had the hard camera facing directly towards the ring, and in addition to that, the empty seats were removed and replaced with LED screens. Definitely an improvement. I think AEW was likely the influence. It had the Impact Wrestling / Ring of Honor look, but it's a good look when you do not have a crowd. Makes more sense under the circumstances. Tom McCarthy with the $2 super chat, first one of the evening. Thank you, Tom. He says, Aaron Rift versus coronavirus at WrestleMania in a boneyard match. A boneyard match, you say? What is a boneyard match? I'm still trying to figure that out. We'll talk about that more in a few minutes here. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Thank you for participating tonight. And thank you to everyone watching, whether it's live or on demand. If you enjoy this video, please share it on social media. Tell a friend. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Oofman Rules with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. He says, I wonder where Kevin Dunn got those ideas for the look of the show tonight, eh? Yeah. You have to wonder. WWE at least finally making some changes. The fans on social media have been very vocal about making the changes. And to WWE's credit, they made the changes. We had Brock Lesnar come out with Paul Heyman for a promo. Heyman said that Drew McIntyre cannot beat Brock Lesnar and will not beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar will make it quick, according to Heyman, but it will not be painless. Heyman did admit that, yes, Drew McIntyre is a made man because of what he did to Lesnar a few weeks ago. And Drew McIntyre, according to Heyman, will go on to main event WWE for years to come. However, at WrestleMania, Paul Heyman said that Drew McIntyre will be just another bitch that tried to beat Brock Lesnar. Pretty good promo here, although more of the usual from Paul Heyman. At least we got to skip the whole, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, yada, yada, yada. We had a replay of Brock Lesnar versus John Cena versus Seth Rollins from the 2015 Royal Rumble. Great match. Fun to watch this one again. I always felt bad for these guys because this match got overshadowed by the Royal Rumble match, which of course Roman Reigns won, and people were outraged over that. That Royal Rumble pay-per-view considered one of the worst Royal Rumbles, even though this triple threat match was fantastic. Nice match to revisit. I thought this was a good choice if you're going to show us classic matches. By the way, WWE Network, a lot of content, all the old pay-per-views, all the stuff that us poor folk have been paying $9.99 for the past 6 years, that is currently free for a limited time. So head over to WWE and their webpage. I think it's WWEnetwork.com or watch.wwe.com. and you can watch all that great content. But in case you do not want to do that, WWE's giving it to you on television. And also, ESPN is showing WrestleMania events, so you can tune into ESPN to watch those shows. Darren G says, what's the most important hour of the night, Aaron? 9 o'clock Eastern, because that's when Better Call Saul is on. Just saying. We had a recap of the AJ Styles and Undertaker storyline. And guess what? We got to see Anderson and Gallows getting beat down not once, but twice during the recap footage. I also should mention that Jerry Lawler was not on this show. Maybe WWE decided Lawler's too much of a risk with the coronavirus and they decided to keep him off television. We had an AJ Styles promo on the stage. He brought up the line, WrestleMania, too big for one night. AJ said he doesn't care which night they're fighting on. Then AJ brought up The Undertaker's Twitter account and then showed the footage, which was posted on ODQ.com over the weekend, of Undertaker and Michelle McCool cutting a promo about saving the Tigers, and they were in the pool with this gigantic tiger. AJ Styles said that he does not want to face that Undertaker, the Undertaker that takes selfies. He wants the dead man. He wants to give the WWE Universe what they want. And that's the dead man. AJ then, I guess, challenged the Undertaker to a boneyard match at WrestleMania. I thought I misheard AJ. I thought he said graveyard because I've never heard of a boneyard before. Maybe I'm just not cool enough, but I'm assuming it's a graveyard. The game is on 100, giving us some insight. $5 super chat. Says a boneyard meaning is a place where worn out or damaged objects, such as cars, are collected to await disposal, or a cemetery. I'm guessing it's going to be something like a cemetery. Maybe it'll be like Nightmare on Elm Street 3 with the parking lot with all the cars, the junkyard type scenario. Maybe the Undertaker will be buried and then they'll have a CGI skeleton pop out from the grave and hit AJ Styles with a shovel. There's a lot of possibilities. I'm glad WWE is doing this actually, because I was just dreading AJ and Undertaker in a regular match. So at least doing something like this will be able to hide the Undertaker's limits. I think it's fine. And Confied Rook says, no, Aaron, that's too good of an idea. Hey, that would be something interesting. If there was ever a time for WWE to do something crazy with CGI effects, this would be the time. And Gilberto says toilet paper. I'd love to see, you know what? If WWE does a kickoff, and who knows what they're doing this year, but if they do a kickoff match, they should bring back Hornswoggle and have him and El Torito in a toilet paper on a pole match. Why not? We had Andrade and Angel Garza cut a promo. By the way, they're the new number one contenders for the tag team titles. I'm trying to remember the matches that they won. to earn this opportunity. To my knowledge, the only match they had as a team was on Raw a few weeks back when they lost to Rey Mysterio and Humberto. So anyways, it's Andrade and Angel Garza versus the Street Profits for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Whatever. I would have rather had seen that Fatal 4-Way match, you know. Give Humberto the spot, put Rey Mysterio in there, Fatal 4-Way for the U.S. title, but we're getting a tag team match instead, which I'm fine with that too, but this just feels like it was thrown together last minute. Zelina Vega said that the Profits will not be dancing around with the tag team titles anymore. And then Angel Garza gave Charlie Caruso a flirtatious look as only he can. We had a recap of Edge's promo from last week, and then we had a tag team match. Andrade and Angel Garza versus Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. Street Profits came out on commentary. Pretty long match between these guys. It was a good match, but I felt like this should have been a number one contenders match. Or maybe do 3 teams in a match. Winning team gets to face the Street Profits, instead of just announcing Andrade and Angel Garza as the number one contenders. Match was pretty good, though. We had Andrade hitting Chris Jericho's Judas effect. So it's not just changing the angle of the hard camera when it comes to copying AEW this week, but you got Andrade using the Judas effect. Unfortunately, the pin was botched. I watched back on it, and it looked like maybe Alexander was supposed to kick out. The referee counted 1, counted 2, and then he pretty much stopped at 3, hesitated for a split second, and then counted 3. And as he was doing this, Alexander got his shoulder up. So I think Alexander was supposed to kick out here. Anyways, besides the botched finish, match was pretty solid. After the match, Street Profits came into the ring. There was a brief brawl, and the Profits ran them off. After the commercial break, we had Street Profits versus Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink from NXT. I'm not sure who Vink is. I'm not even familiar with anything he's done. Shane Thorne I've seen once or twice. Basically a squash match, although the NXT guys did get a little bit of offense. Ford picked up the victory with the frog splash. That looked pretty cool with the instant replay. We had footage shown of R-Truth regaining the 24/7 title from Riddick Moss. Basically, a car pulled up on some random street. Riddick Moss was, I guess, running or something. He was keeping his social distancing. You know, you could still run. A referee got out of the car, and then R-Truth got out of the trunk and rolled up Moss to win the title. 35-time, 24/7, hardcore European coronavirus champion of the world. Congratulations to R-Truth. Nobody cares. We had Shayna Baszler interviewed by Charlie Caruso. Charlie was a little bit intimidated, and Baszler pointed that out, saying that Charlie looks nervous. Baszler said that Becky Lynch should expect to lose at WrestleMania. Baszler said that she wants the title because she loves to destroy, and losing the title will destroy Becky Lynch, according to Baszler. All of a sudden, Baszler got hit with a steel chair. The lights came up, and it was Becky Lynch in the ring. She continued the attack on Baszler and then took her leave. Next up, we had Aleister Black in a squash match against Leon Ruff. Aleister sat down and basically waited for Ruff to go for the first blow, make the first move. Ruff went for a kick. He missed. And then Black hit the Black Mass, and that was it. And confined Rook, I'm actually from Los Angeles. It was a rough night for Leon Ruff. Let's just say that. One kick and it was all over. We had Kevin Owens come out and he called out Seth Rollins. Rollins then came out to the ringside area and did this great promo. I thought this was a really solid promo from Rollins. He said that Owens really doesn't have the advantage in the Performance Center because Rollins, when he arrived to WWE, the building did not even exist. The PC, according to Rollins, was built on his blood, sweat, and tears. And without Rollins, there would be no PC, there would be no NXT, no TakeOver, no Women's Revolution. And also, on top of that, Rollins doesn't understand why Owens would want to fight at WrestleMania because Rollins has this great track record, cashing in Money in the Bank, beating Triple H, and so on. Owens has just failed over and over and wasn't even good enough to be on the card last year. According to Rollins, Owens cannot beat him on his worst day, and under pressure, Rollins said that he becomes a god. Again, I really liked this promo from Rollins, although Mr. Anderson disagrees. He thought it was just okay. We had a replay, the second replay of the evening. This time it was Charlotte versus Asuka, just to remind us how WWE screwed up Asuka, who was red hot at the time. After the match was shown, Charlotte cut a promo, said she is the master class at making history. She beat Asuka. She retired the Divas title. She headlined WrestleMania 35. She offered some advice to Rhea Ripley, said Rhea should maybe watch some of her matches and learn a thing or two. We then had our final segment of the evening, which was a Randy Orton promo. Orton apologized to Edge because he actually lied to Beth Phoenix. Orton said that Edge is not a junkie for the wrestling business, but rather a junkie for himself, a junkie for his own ego. Adam Copeland is a junkie for Edge. And Orton said that yes, he was handed an opportunity. Orton was. But that doesn't guarantee a Hall of Fame career. Orton said that he wasn't handed his title wins. And Mick Foley did not pass the torch to Orton. Rather, Orton took the damn torch. And then Orton said he has grit because he has the longevity. And at WrestleMania, Edge might be writing the story, but Randy Orton is writing the last chapter. And he accepts the last man standing stipulation for WrestleMania. Another really good promo. I thought Rollins and Orton cut really strong promos on this show. Everything else, to me, was skippable. Again, I'm not going to do a letter grade for Raw. I would check out the 2 promos, and really that's about it. I will say this, though. Randy Orton saying he's going to write the last chapter reminds me of the whole Cody Rhodes MJF storyline where MJF said he was going to write the last chapter of Cody's career. So, 3rd time, I guess you could say WWE taking something from AEW. First, the setup with the hard camera, and then the Judas effect, and then this whole thing with the writing the last chapter promo. I have to say, AEW was way better. Even with the tweaks to Raw this week, still did not have the excitement level as AEW. And this is with WrestleMania coming up. I'm hoping WWE will do some different types of matches. I'm wondering if they will do a match with the House of Horrors. That would be really cool, with John Cena and The Fiend. Might as well. That would be an opportunity to do it. And shout out to Mike B, who unfortunately got laid off from his job due to the coronavirus situation. Best of luck to you, Mike B, and hopefully you get back on your feet as soon as possible. Ken Terminated by Google sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Ken. He says, Rift, do you think Randy Orton is the most underappreciated talker of our generation? I am sure Mo Camera thinks he's trash since he hates John Cena and Roman Reigns. I think Randy Orton is just very underappreciated in general. I think he has been one of the most consistent talents in WWE history. I mean, look at his longevity, as he pointed out in the promo. He's been around now for almost 2 decades, part of Evolution. He's been in many classic feuds, whether it was against Mick Foley or John Cena or Batista or Edge or Daniel Bryan. The list goes on and on. Orton has really been one of those top tier guys, but people like to say he's boring in the ring or his promos are boring. This was a great promo from him, in my opinion. Again, highlights of this show, I felt, were the 2 promos from Rollins and Randy Orton. So yeah, not much else to talk about. WrestleMania is going to be pre-taped, which is a bit of a downer. Tom McCarthy with a $2 super chat says, will there be only old WWE shows on USA Fox after WrestleMania? Good question. So that ties into what I was just talking about. Tonight could be the last live WWE show for a while. They're taping, I believe, the Go Home Raw tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday. No, Wednesday and Thursday they're doing WrestleMania. So I think tomorrow they're doing the Go Home Raw and possibly the post-WrestleMania Raw. They might actually be recording the post-WrestleMania Raw before they do the WrestleMania matches. What they do after WrestleMania, that remains to be seen. I think the idea is that WWE wants to get WrestleMania in the can before there's a complete shutdown where they're not even allowed to do a closed set show. After WrestleMania, I'm sure they'll see what the situation is like and go from there. They may have to rely on clip shows for a while. Maybe WWE will do an off-season. Anything's possible at this point. And again, it all changes on a day-to-day basis. And TR Sega with a 200 yen super chat. Thank you for that. Before I get to that, let me see what some of these other comments are here. All right, I'll move on here real quick. And regarding spoilers, before I get to this super chat, I have a few of them, so I will get to these. Regarding spoilers, I think it's highly unlikely in all likelihood that we get spoilers, and they very well could be fake. So if you guys read spoilers or something comes out, there's a decent chance they're going to be fake spoilers to begin with. Because I think that with so few people being involved in the process and non-disclosure agreements being signed, I don't see people leaking out results of the matches. And if there were legitimate spoilers for some reason, yeah, I would probably post them on ODQ, but doesn't mean you have to read them. But I don't think I would post anything unless I was absolutely sure that they were verified spoilers. So again, if there are spoilers in the unlikely event, just don't read them. And I'm hoping there will not be, because I would personally not want to be spoiled myself. Psycho Jet Black with the $2 super chat says, are you still mad at Zack Ryder for WrestleMania 32? I'm over it. I'm just mad that he blocked me. Actually, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I was a Zack Ryder fan. I was doing the whole woo woo woo, you know it. I was trying to back him up, and then he blocked me on Twitter after I shaved my head. But anyways, going back to TR Sega's question, your thoughts on Braun Strowman versus the indie guys GoFundMe? That perplexed me. I don't know why Strowman would write that. It's just not appropriate. If wrestlers want to do GoFundMes to try and raise money, let them do what they want to do. That's up to the fans to decide how they want to spend their money. If they want to support an indie wrestler, let them do that. I think Strowman being judgmental like that is not a good look for him. Don't know what else to say about it. I just think it was in poor taste from Strowman. And Ken terminated by Google with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Ken. He says, the reason for the super chat, because most marks crap on Randy Orton on his ring ability and promo skills. By the way, shout out to Mike B. Champ, I hope you recover. Well said on all that, Ken. I agree with you with everything you wrote in that super chat. And at this time, Braun Strowman has not blocked no DQ. That all could change in a moment's notice. Again, a guy who goes on social media and starts criticizing people, then starts blocking anybody that disagrees with him. Not a good look, in my opinion. And I guess he was talking about how he was feeling bored. Well, Mr. Strowman, there's a lot of things to do with one's time. Maybe read a book? I don't know. There's countless things you can do if you put your mind to it. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, what are your favorite Big Show matches and moments? Good question there, Psycho Jet Black. I think as far as moments go, has to be when Big Show did the superplex or got superplexed by Brock Lesnar and the ring broke, and really you could say all three of them, but the original to me is still the best one. And as far as matches go, maybe his first match versus Hulk Hogan. No, just kidding. Not that one. I liked the Braun Strowman Big Show matches. The cage match I thought was really good. The matches with John Cena were always really solid with Big Show. Roman Reigns. Believe it or not, I know people that don't like Roman Reigns, and Mo Camera will probably hate me for this comment, but that match, that pay-per-view match that Roman Reigns had with Big Show, it was like 2016 or 2017. That one was really good. So there you go. Michael Wayne says the Roman Reigns Big Show Last Man Standing match was great. He says that one was 2015. If that was the one, then that was the one. It was somewhere around that period when Reigns was very much hated. The only other news I can think of regarding WrestleMania besides being taped, Dana Brooke is now out of the women's match, and why she was put in it in the first place, I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see who the replacement is. At this time, I don't think WWE announced a replacement. Lucha Libre Gaming Guy, why is the WrestleMania 1 through 35 video review on private? Thanks. I had to make some edits to it. I screwed a few things up. And what I've been doing is I've been uploading clips from each WrestleMania, posting it on Twitter and Facebook and the YouTube channel. So if you missed that live stream, I will be posting video clips with my thoughts. And eventually, before WrestleMania, I'll have a playlist of everything. Mr. Anderson thinks the replacement will be Nia Jax. Very well could be. And I like D. Ross's idea. Undertaker versus AJ Styles, Kennel from Hell match, but instead of dogs, you have tigers. There you go. I was just thinking that. I know it's realistically impossible unless you had CGI tigers. AJ Styles versus Undertaker and have a tiger. Instead of lumberjacks, you have tigers on the outside of the ring. People's Wrestling Channel, I think this will be Undertaker's last WrestleMania match. I feel like his last match will probably be Survivor Series, since it'll be the 30-year anniversary of his debut. And this has been the best usage of a tiger in a wrestling show since Scott Steiner brought out that tiger back on Nitro in 2000. And yes, Big Show riding on his dad's casket has to be another great Big Show moment. If we're talking about funny Big Show moments. And of course, him doing the Hulk Hogan impression was great too. Big Show's another underappreciated guy in my opinion. On that note, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this live stream. Thank you all so much for watching and continuing to support the site. Head over to NoDQ.com to find out the very latest. And I will be back Wednesday night to recap AEW Dynamite. Thank you all again. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you guys next time.